Hey, how y'all doing? It's Monday, people. That's right, baby. It's Monday. That means up in the morning, get your shit all together and get out to work. I wake up in the morning, more dead than alive. Have to eat my breakfast before I open up my eyes. With my second cup of coffee, I stagger out the door. So get your ass out the door, go to work, and have a great day. We have work to do. We can't be mulling around all down in the dumps. We're pissed off about a lot of shit. But it's our turn, baby. And we have to remember that. It's our turn now. And I put out a little rant yesterday. I hope y'all got to see it. Because I was reminded today not to get my blood pressure so high. I got my blood pressure worked up a little last night. And I need to be careful about that shit. Because I don't want to die on camera. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad, but I do. I get my blood pressure up because I am passionate about what I'm doing. I said this once before. I would be doing this if there was nobody listening to me because it's what I have to get out of me. It's what I have to say. My voice is important to me anyway. It's important that I use it, and it's important that you use yours. And I went in yesterday, and we were talking about the long game. You know, that's what we have to keep our eye on. And because that's exactly what Mitch McConnell did. He played the long game. That was the name of his book, The Long Game. And now it's our turn. Now we have to channel all this anger that we have going through this Brett Kavanaugh. Now we have a Supreme Court solidly in the right, in the conservative pockets. And we need to keep a close eye on what kind of cases are going to be coming to the court very soon. And I believe some of them are going to be tried to push. We talked about one yesterday about the getting a subpoena for people in the executive branch. Is that lawful or not? And the Supreme Court is going to have to decide that. Before it was 4-4, and now there's a possibility it could be 5-4. Well, I went on yesterday. I want to get this out of the way because I when I say something and I am informed about something I said, then I'm not one to run away. I've always told people that when you go into a place and you could pick the lowest guy on the totem pole has something that he could teach you. We all need to learn every day, and if you stop learning, well, I guess you kicked the bucket. Anyway, I was talking about Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin was a yes vote for Kavanaugh, and that helped put Kavanaugh on the bench, and that's a done deal. Well, Manchin's a Democrat, and it really pissed me off. A Democrat voted yes, and it just boiled my blood, and I feel like he's a turncoat, and get rid of his ass. Because that's not the kind of Democrats we don't need a Democrat name only. I want somebody who up there believes in our platform, believes in what we believe in. This shit that we talk about. Anyway, this weekend, I was lucky enough to be on the Tim Cormall show on Sunday. Tim, Ian, Joe, and Kathy. Had a great time, and anytime I'm on Tim's show, it's just a wonderful experience to get around. I love listening to Joe's clown car segment, and I get a laugh off him. I like to play off of Joe. And Friday, I was on the front porch with Bob Kincaid. I enjoy being on Bob's show also. Bob's show is he's got a great panel on his show usually, and Bob's a pretty knowledgeable fellow. And Bob is from West Virginia. You can find him at Bob Kincaid on Head On Radio Network. You can find that. Google it, headon.com, I think it is. The Head On Radio Network. And Bob wrote a piece in Facebook, and it speaks to what I was talking to yesterday. And he reminds us the long game. That's what we need. We need to start playing the long game. We need to plan now for what we want in 2020 and beyond. Because it all starts now, and it all starts with your vote. But turning our attention to West Virginia and my comments about Manchin, This is what Bob Kincaid has written, and it's hard to argue with Bob. Bob's a pretty smart fellow, buddy. Plus, he's from the area. But I want to read what he wrote because I think it's important to every one of us and how we vote. This is important to us. This is the future of our country. West Virginia Democrats, here's the bottom line. Will you vote like an American first or a West Virginian first? That's a big question. Everybody's proud of their state, baby. I'm proud of Texas. I want to vote like a Texan this time because, in my case, we got Beto O'Rourke running. I got Eric Olgain running in my district. I have Texans that I can be proud of to say, yes, that's my man. For those in West Virginia, it might be difficult to swallow that pill and vote for this man Manchin. But here's the deal Bob reminds us of. We're voting America first. We have to. What do I mean? This. There's only one scenario in which Democrats take control of the Senate. That scenario requires every Senate Democrat up for re-election this year to win their respective races. I am terminally serious when I say that our nation's fate rests upon the wresting control from the maggots in both houses of Congress in this election. And that's true. Baby, we want to save this democracy from a slow death behind closed doors, baby. This is what we got to do. We have to take the House. We have to take the Senate if we can. The Senate is in play, and we have to take it. If you vote like an American first, you cast your vote for Manchin in the hope that we can even get a single majority vote in the Senate. If, on the other hand, you choose your state's politics over your nation, you may decide to withhold your vote and perhaps play a role in finally ending the slimy, self-involved career of Joe Manchin, but it had a horrible price for your nation. He's a scumbag. That's what I said. This man just irks me that he claims to be a Democrat. Mitch McConnell titled his book The Long Game. I think it should have been called The Long Con, but that's for another day. We need to learn to play the long game, and the first step is taking back the House and Senate in this election. If we can do that with 20 Republican senators facing re-election in 2020, we get a chance, just a chance, 2 years hence, to grind the Trump party into dirt, drive a wooden stake through its heart, and salt the earth so its fascism cannot grow again. That is what we're up here. That is what at stake. This Trumpism that has taken over, these minions that follow him around and praise him at the destruction of our country. That's what we have to worry about. That's the long game, Bob says. As much as I despise Joe Manchin, and I do, with the heat of a billion suns, as much as I am convinced this state would have been a better place had he never been born, as disgusted as I have been, as I have watched this reptilian dance with the worst element in our culture, I see no way forward that doesn't worsen the harm we already experience if we do not return him to the Senate. What a choice Bob has given us. We know he's a slime bag. We know he's a Democrat name only. He goes with the scumbags, the lobbyists, who's ever going to pay him, the coal mining lobbyists and all that shit. He's not standing up for the democratic values we want, but what do we get without him? In the midst of our righteous fury at Joe's betrayal of every survivor of sexual assault in this state, and for that matter our nation, please step back from the abyss, if even for a moment. Please, let us acknowledge the real terror that rises from the ascension of Brett Kavanaugh to the court. Now ponder a Senate that will do what they did with Kavanaugh all over again with the next SCOTUS vacancy, and the odds suggest there will be one. Consider Patrick Morrissey's aye vote. That will take us to a 6-3 Trump majority. On the other hand, Joe will have a much harder time bucking a Democratic majority than he did bucking the minority in the Kavanaugh debacle. It is the difference between a certainty and a possibility. 5-4 majorities can change more easily than a 6-3 or a 7-2 can. As such, I plan to vote for the sake of my nation first, and that means, as filthy as I feel doing it, voting for Joe Manchin. That's what Bob will do. Just my bill. I think those were powerful words by Bob. That's how come I read them. This is our country we're looking at. The future of our nation rests in what we do as voters, as American citizens, as people that will stand up. To the polls, all you guardians of liberty. As Mousy and Felix the Cat remind us. To the polls, you guardians. That's us, baby. That's us. And we have to do that. And for those in West Virginia, if it means holding your nose and voting for a stinking pig, that's what it's going to require this time. Because our country depends on us taking the House and the Senate, baby. If we don't do that, do you think anything's going to move? Watch the Supreme Court. Watch the cases that are going to come before that court. See who it's going to benefit, because we know damn good and well Brett Kavanaugh is a biased individual. He showed us that during the judiciary hearings. What goes around comes around. And he's gunning for the Clintons. And the Clintons are Democrats, so he's gunning for us, baby. Whatever rule comes up in front of that court that benefits the Republicans over Democrats, you can bet your ass Kavanaugh is going to vote for it. Boop is going to vote for it, baby. Boop, Mike, he'll sock down a few beers. I hope as an indication of what you have to do for your country. I hope y'all got to see on my Facebook post. I posted a little thing from rural Texas. A little photograph there of a guy's house. Real pretty little house, green grass in the yard, and there's a sign in that yard. And that sign said, this November, this Republican and Marine Corps vet will vote for a Democrat to save our democracy. Please help us save it. That's a Republican sign. Real nice sign. Printed up real good, too. Got the Marine Corps emblem on there. Semper Fi, baby. Semper Fi. He stands ready. He's faithful to his country. And he knows what he's got to do. We have to swing this country. We have to swing it back into the control of moderate people who want to see this country brought forward, not grind to a halt and dragged backwards for whatever reason, for money and power. Because that's all Donnie's out there selling, baby. He's out there selling it today. What's he out there talking about? I had it written down. He flew down to Florida with Rod Rosenstein on board. Come on, buddy, we're going to have a little talk on the way down. Donnie said it went real good. Donnie said that talk went real good. Things are going to come up soon from the Mueller investigation. And now things don't look so good. I wonder what that conversation was like. Don't forget that Rod Rosenstein wrote that memo to fire Comey on the behest of Trump. Hey, buddy, write me a letter. Okay, Doc, I will. So Rod Rosenstein has been on the fence of this. He knows what his position is. Goes too far, the left will jump all over him. Doesn't go far enough, the right is going to jump all over him. I don't know where we are up there. I could only do one thing, and that is put my faith in the man that's running that investigation, Robert Mueller, who is a Republican, who is a Marine Corps combat vet, highly decorated man whose honor I trust. And I will wait for his decisions coming out of that. But these decisions in the Senate and the House will determine what happens to that investigation, what happens to that report when Mueller comes out. If it's held by Republicans, what do you think will come out? Not much, baby. As much as that man in our house tries to tell you about transparency, they hide every damn thing they do. The man's a liar. He's out there this morning telling everybody that Dr. Ford was just a hoax. It was made up. by the evil Democrats trying to ruin a good man. He's calling her a liar. A woman that had the courage to stand up and testify in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee of the United States of America, and how much courage that took, he dismisses as a liar. That's the Republican Party. I don't know how Susan Collins sleeps with herself at night. I really don't. I don't know how any woman could have voted yes on that nomination. There are plenty of judges that could have took his place, but now we have one who will forever have an asterisk right next to his name, and every decision he writes will be questioned. That's not the court I want. I want a better court, but it's the long game that gets us there. It's this race in Tennessee. It's this race in Texas. It's this race everywhere, wherever you're at in this country. That is going to determine the future. Told Mama I was going to keep my blood pressure down today. Ain't I doing a good job? Oh, I forgot to mention that toilet paper on his shoe. Too late now. That's several days old. But hey, it speaks to ain't nobody around. You know he didn't pick that up in the limo. So wherever he was before, he probably picked that thing up, and probably 100 people saw it. Nobody said shit to him because they figured, that's what he is. Anyway, it's about all I got, people. No, there is one other thing. I want to encourage anybody in the Virginia area, anywhere near Stafford, Virginia. If you're over in that area of the country, they're going to have a meeting at the school board in Stafford. And October 9th at 6:30 at 31 Stafford Avenue. So how easy is that? I believe it's Stafford, Virginia on Stafford Avenue. If you want to know more, visit Equality Stafford. That's STAFFORD. And that's in Virginia. And now the reason I wanted to point out that meeting, because I think it's going to be important for anybody that lives in that area. Because here's a story I read. And when I read it, I just thought to myself, are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? And by the way, Taylor Swift in Tennessee, baby, is came out and supporting Bredesen there in Tennessee. Tennessee is on the bubble, baby. Get those young Taylor Swift's popular, baby. Get them out there and vote. I appreciate that. Now, getting back to Stafford, they had one of the middle schools there. They had a drill the other day, a lockdown drill. Yep. Hey, active shooter, let's have a drill. Let's practice what we're going to do. And that's what they did. And their plan was to have all the girls run into the girls' locker room and all the boys run into the boys' locker room. And then everybody will be safer. What are you talking about? In that moment of crisis, you're still worried about what bathroom they're going into. Boys over here, girls over here. Let's be this cautious, but let's pack them into the right room. That in itself is ridiculous. That is ridiculous thought. Closest cover. How about that? How about if there's boys and girls in a group and the closest thing right there is the boys' locker room, all of them can go in there. That's ridiculous. But that's not what the meeting is about. During their practice, well, all the girls went that way, all the boys went that way. And when it came to this one transgender girl, they told her, well, you sit out here in the hallway and we'll get back to you. We'll go discuss what we're supposed to do. This is a drill for an active shooter. All right, active shooter, ring the bell. What are you going to do? Leave a girl out there in the hallway because you don't know what bathroom she's supposed to go into? As the depth of stupidity of that bullshit runs through my mind, I find it hard to comprehend that there are educators, there are teachers during a drill are going to stop everything and discuss what they're going to do with the little transgender child. You talk about a lack of leadership at that school. Pull your thumb out your ass. For one, don't in a drill. Let's don't get so proper as to be so glorious upon ourselves to separate them into boys and girls before they get hidden, before they seek cover. How about just get under cover? That's number one. And quit worrying about what gender. What do you got? A peeker there, everybody? Oh, yeah, okay, you can go this way? It's ridiculous. That's the kind of shit that is ridiculous in this country. You don't get to pick. You don't get to pick. They pick. You shut your mouth. Anyway. What else? That just pissed me off. I'm sorry, it just does. It does. We are all Americans. We are all equal. And you're going to tell me that in a crisis situation, you're going to sit there and think about, well, what gender is somebody? We can't do that. We can't do it as Americans. We can't do it as a society. It's all of us, baby. It's all of us. We, the people of the United States. That's all of us. Maybe you ought to go down to that school meeting and point out the fact that when they're seeking cover, let's don't worry about gender. Let's worry about lives. And let's worry about how the idiot that got the gun got there in the first place. That'd be a damn good help. I seen the other day, I haven't read up all the way, I just seen the headline where they reversed an Obama-era rule about giving guns to people with mental problems. Reversed it, baby. Yeah, we don't give a shit if you're nuts. Second Amendment right, baby. The hoax is a spear. Paid actors. Deny. Don't be like that Al Franken guy and fold like a wet rag. Stand up and deny it. Call them all liars. When is it going to be your turn that he gets to call you a liar? That your rights don't matter. That your story is just a bunch of bullshit. Because that's what the right is pushing right now. Beware, boys. It's an evil plot against you. All these sexual charges are just made up by women. They didn't happen. It never happens. They're all just making up bullshit stories. And that's the message they're pushing. Don't let them do that. Stand up for this country. Vote. We only have a short time to do this in. I'll take a day today, stay a little calm, be able to get worked up a little maybe on Wednesday and Friday. Because we have to be. We have to channel this anger. And we have to keep it motivated. It's 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, whatever it is right now. That's a long time. But it's enough time to motivate more. And that's what we need to do, baby. So, Bob Kincaid, thank you for your letter. I think it should speak to all of us about what's on the line here. The House and the Senate, baby. We need to take them. And because we need to grind this Trump administration into the dirt. That fascist crap, that racism crap, that mocking people, victims, handicapped, POW veterans, all that shit doesn't belong in our house. And we need to get rid of it. So let's do that. And like, share, subscribe. John Bertavo, a Blue Dot in Texas on YouTube. I want to thank everybody over there on YouTube for coming up. We went over 9,400 subscribers over there. Y'all are just making my heart swell up with the comments that y'all are making over there. And I'm trying to get back to as many of y'all. I've been answering a lot of them comments over there. To my family on Facebook, baby, this is it. We're down to the wire. Keep pushing. Those people over at JBS, John Bertavo Speaks, Blue Dot Family, their numbers are increasing every day. The conversation is always great over there. Go in and get into it. Be a part of this movement. Be a part of this blue wave. That's what we're asking you to do because it is that important for our whole country that all of us vote. If we all vote, we win. Anyway, John Bertavo on Facebook, at Blue Dot in Texas on Twitter, out my truck window, anywhere else we can get the message, baby. This is our platform. We the people, baby. That's all of us. That's all of us. So, hey, I'll see you on Wednesday. I did a real good job, didn't I? I didn't get pissed off one bit. See you later.